Romain Nepot est un arbitre de merde.
Laissez brûler ça.
My name's Dax,
And my name's Nick.
and much like our French sucks, so does Romain Nepot. And welcome to the Cold Room.
Our rugby union chat show. Yeah, our French is really bad. Sorry about that. We've probably offended a whole nation. Yeah, more than one nation actually. But speaking of Romain Nepot, because he is a twat. See what I did there?
Yeah, he is a twit as well. A useless appendage in world rugby.
He's like the male nipple. There's no functionality whatsoever.
Yeah. But anyway.
The reason why we're saying this is because as in the game, Springboks versus Scotland, we were hoping for a nice little contest there. I mean, Scotland doing really well this year, South Africa climbing back up the world rugby rankings, like literally clawing the way up slowly. And we kind of got hints of that. We got hints. But when we started getting hints of this nice contested battle, suddenly a whistle got blown. For weird things. And inconsistent things as well.
Yeah, so our big talking point that made us go, okay, this is where the game turns on its head and it's now an absolute crap show, is Willie Leroux's yellow card in the 46th minute of the game. It's an inconsistent rule, I think, in terms of world rugby ruling, in terms of a deliberate knockdown. So I've always had the feeling a deliberate knockdown should be a deliberate motion to knock the ball on or out of the path of someone. So something like that, or flicking it up for whatever reason. But if a person is making a deliberate attempt to try and catch the ball, I mean, put their hand out and hoping it sticks, and you know, the Hail Marys, you know, that's a deliberate attempt to try and actually catch the ball. I think a knock-on in that instance, or a penalty for a scrum advantage, or maybe a penalty at worst, is probably the way to go. But to call that a deliberate knock-on and then yellow card a player for 10 minutes is absolutely ludicrous.
So, I understand the deliberate knockdown rule. You can very easily say, I'm going for the intercept and knock the ball to the ground. Momentum, my arm was swinging, knock the ball down, and that, in fact, is cynical.
But that's where TMO comes in. I mean, come on, if you're going to make it deliberate, you hit the ball, it's going to be a deliberate motion.
True, but I mean, these are professionals at the end of the day, and one of the things about being a professional is learning how to read the rules of the game. So this is one of those grey areas of the game where, I could be going for the intercept.
I think a yellow card's a bit too harsh for that rule, to be quite honest.
So, generally how it's policed is if there is a downward motion of the hand, it's a yellow card. If there is an upward motion, but there's any remote chance of the player being able to catch the ball, then it tends to be a penalty, and if it's a more stricter ref, card. Now, in the case of Willie Leroux, there was a chance he could have caught the ball and gotten the intercept try. So in that instance, it's kind of a 50-50 flip of the coin whether the ref wants to blow for a knock-on or for a penalty. Now, as we're progressing on with the laws of rugby changing, it tends to be more penalty than knock-on, but it went up for a decision. And even the TMO said penalty. No cards were mentioned. Nothing was mentioned. The assistants didn't say anything about a card. And then, of course, Poit, the tot, decided to give a yellow card.
Yeah, those famous words. I see a deliberate knocker down, so I give him a yellow card and a penalty. Thank you. Man, it gets under your skin actually, because this is what I think the third test that he's actually done something like. I think this is actually cynical refereeing against us from this particular person, considering that we've complained about him at World 2 World Rugby, and I think he's actually got to be in his bonnet.
I think we're just finding that French referees on a whole are not performing to the standard of other nationalities.
Hell, they suspended Marius van der Westhuizen for being unfit. I think we got a clear case that they should actually go back to school.
So overall we are seeing some inconsistencies. I mean, we saw in the Australia game as well, there was a challenge in the air, inconsistency with how that was ruled, and there were also like little breakdown.
Yeah, don't forget the 100 Pollard neck roll that you got completely missed.
Okay, true, but also Siaklis' headbutt also kind of went under the radar.
Yeah,
so,
well,
you know,
I
we
think,
win some,
I think,
lose some.
I think you know what, Khaleesi's headbutt went under the radar for all of us because I didn't even see it.
I saw a scuffle in the background.
Yeah,
but not a headbutt. Yeah.
So a lot of us only saw it after the match. It was like, oh, that was a headbutt. But I mean, a deliberate neck roll right in front of an assistant referee and the referee, and both of them went.
Don't break the furniture.
No, but yeah, it's the refereeing standard is dropping at an alarming rate. I mean, the Irish-New Zealand game was.
Okay,
I think policed mostly.
We'll talk about the rugby porn later. Let's stick with it.
But South Africa wins.
Yes.
We got the win. It's now 2 out of 3.
Yes.
We have a chance to close it out if we play well against the Welsh team.
Historically, South Africa is not very good in Wales.
For the last 4 years.
Yeah, that's not good. And so it's going to be a tough one. There are some key injuries. For example, Halfpenny is out.
Yeah.
But then again, Wales do have the player pool to actually front up a good team.
And they don't have the captain, Sam Warburton, in their midst anymore. So that kind of could...
but they beat Australia.
They did beat Australia. And look, Rusty even said this is the toughest test of the tour.
Yeah.
Sorry, England, you missed out on that one. But yeah, the Welsh have been playing really well. They're on an 8-win streak at the moment, which is really which shows that the Welsh rugby is on the up and up. It's going to be a big test for us this coming weekend.
Yes, and then let's talk about win streaks. Ireland, 16 out of last 17 matches.
Yep.
I mean, it's not a streak, but that's an impressive record right now.
It is an impressive record. They won the Grand Slam, I think it is.
No, they didn't win the Grand Slam because England is the only team that beat them in the Six Nations. That's the one game they lost.
I thought I read that it was the Grand Slam, but anyway, but still they won the Six Nations this year, and they've done what only South Africa's done this year, and that is beat New Zealand.
Yeah. I have to say, I was reading some articles. New Zealand are looking very vulnerable right now. We said it last week that this is the one game where Ireland could pip it, because lately we're seeing New Zealand getting squeakers when they win.
Yeah, they got squeakers. They got 2 squeakers with us.
Yeah.
They thoroughly beat Australia and Japan. Let's give them that.
They don't count.
But yeah, we don't count those really.
England was a squeaker.
England was a squeaker, and then the
Ireland was a loss.
Ireland that try.
Man, it was a fantastic game of rugby. You know, if anyone wants a good game of rugby, you know, you can know the result, but it is still a fantastic game of rugby. Just to watch everything that happened. There's no one isolating incident in that match. It was just amazing rugby, left, right, and centre. Amazing defence from both teams. The Irish fullback, I've forgotten his name, but I've never seen someone so confident under the high ball and on the counter-attack as well. He was so dangerous, like even more so than Damien McKenzie, and Damien McKenzie is notorious for his counter-attack.
Yeah, he is. They policed him very, very well. Look, the only reason why Ireland prevailed on the day is they got in the face of New Zealand. We did well in Albany when we got into their faces and just ground them out. New Zealand have vulnerabilities. It's just how you exploit or work against their weaknesses that actually will work to your favour.
Yeah.
Ireland did it extremely, extremely well. Low scoring game. It was decided by that final try by the winger, who bravely did the chip and chase again after being charged down by Kieran Reid the first time, and he spilled that one.
Also, the Irish defence was rock solid in those last 20 minutes because
New Zealand tried this.
New Zealand had that classic, last 20-minute comeback that they're renowned for, and Ireland really held their own. So well done to Ireland. Thoroughly deserved victory, managing to make it more realistic that someone else could dethrone New Zealand for number one in the world. I think New Zealand just set 7 years of being number one in the world this past week.
Mhm.
So I mean, congrats to them for that. But we're starting to see that the tides are turning, and that maybe come 2019 World Cup next year, that we could see some interesting upsets that maybe happen. Reminds me of the 07 World Cup with New Zealand not even making it out of the group stages or failing at the quarterfinals. You know, we had some really big upsets in that World Cup. So we could be in for some exciting games.
Yeah. So look, we're not gonna press on too much, but if you look at the world rankings, New Zealand and Ireland, the gap has shortened.
Yeah.
So 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th place, there's I think a maximum of 2 points. There's all percentage points that are currently dividing everyone. I know
We're sitting on 85, slightly
point
just,
something, which
just
is
below England.
which is just below England. England is just below Wales.
But then there's
So-
quite a big gap, because Ireland are sitting at 90 point something.
No, but I'm
and
saying
New
from
Zealand are
3 onwards.
Yes, yeah. New Zealand are sitting at
That's
91
close.
point something.
Yeah,
So
the New Zealand island, and then everyone else is like in that like little close little bracket. So yeah, the World Cup's going to be exciting.
and Australia sitting down in 7th.
They went to they're still so they didn't move because they only beat Italy.
It's only Italy. But yeah, I think that's where we'll leave it for this week.
Yeah, but Springbok team.
Springbok team unchanged except for Eben returning on the bench, which is great news for him. I mean, he did kind of set himself up for an injury curse at the start of the test window, because he was announced to be part of the Barbarian squad, and then in an interview he goes, you know, I'm really looking forward to playing, because last time I was selected I got injured, so I didn't get to play.
Oh yeah.
And then he got injured.
Oh. But
So-
it's good. Papier getting his second start, which is good. Started slowly against the Scots, but really came into his own as the game progressed. So need some confidence, especially now that we have to test our depth. So no Faf this week, thank goodness. But anyway,
Yeah, so predictions, Dax, take it away.
okay, I'm going to say South Africa is going to get a squeaker against Wales, and I hope we can prevail by 3 to 5 points.
That sounds good. What other games are happening?
There's the New Zealand game. They play the Scots, I think.
Okay, New Zealand should win that.
Yeah, and then we don't care about Australia.
There we go. That's the motto for this week.
We've totally got them on
There we go. So if you didn't mind our French, or maybe you found it hilarious,
Oh wait, we can use the term excuse our French.
excuse our French, yes. And like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell icon by Dax's left knee.
So we can notify you.
But until next time,
Bye.
cheers.